See the politicians putting me in the same box as this illegal, as the criminals. It's hurtful, it's very hurtful. Saying I am paying my taxes to this country, feel not really welcome anymore. What do you have to say about that?
It's like, I'm not a politician. Either we are pro-immigrants or against immigrants. This is very childish, I would say.
It is.
I'm surprised that so many people want to come to Poland. You know, suddenly everyone wants to come here. Polish immigration system or the regulation were not prepared for that. They were made when really no one wanted to stay in Poland. Poland spent not enough money on immigration, but not on immigrants. More people, more money to immigration system, immigration offices. So it will be beneficial for everyone.
Hello and welcome to Warsaw Confidential, Poland's #1 podcast in English. I'm your host Kamal Jahid, and today I sit down with attorney Maciej Bartnik. With immigration being a hot topic nowadays, especially here in Poland, I wanted to have an expert on the show to help me navigate the complexity of the Polish immigration system and also help me understand what it truly takes to build a new life in Poland. Thank you so much for supporting our show. Please enjoy this episode. Before we start, I want to tell you about a place I call home. This place is Leila Restaurant and Lounge, located at the heart of Warsaw at Żurawia 32. I call this place home because, first of all, Leila is the name of my own mother. And this is the place where you find me having a meal or having a business meeting or simply just hanging out with my friends. I love Leila so much because this is where I see Polish people and friends from around the world come together to share a drink, a meal, a laugh, or a story. I am happy to announce that Leila is now a proud sponsor of the Warsaw Confidential show. And for you guys, we have a very special deal. You get 10% off your bill, your meal, drinks, whatever you get at Leila. You just have to mention Warsaw Confidential and you will get your discount. Thank you, Leila, for sponsoring this episode. I look forward to seeing you all there. Maciej, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for hosting me.
Maciej, tell me, what mission are you currently on and why does it matter?
As you start with the
with
a strong question. So I was always helping people. So I started with the criminal law. It was interested for me because it was something, something was going on there, and you could help people. But at some point, I was a little bit tired with that, and I look for something else, and it's immigration law. I still do criminal law, but I do help a lot of foreigners, and somehow I like foreigners. I like meeting people, foreign people especially. So you can say I'm on the mission to help foreigners.
So what can you tell me about your childhood or upbringing, and it would help me understand the man that is sitting in front of me today?
Intense. My grandfather was an attorney, and somehow I always knew I'll be an attorney. I wanted to be an attorney since I was 5. I had a period in my life when I was studying abroad, and it was before Poland was a member of EU. And at some point I felt like a second category citizen, because for EU students, everything was so easy. They didn't have to care about visa. They didn't have to care about the administration stuff. At some point, we were the same, but we were but different. But we were not. So, and if you wouldn't fulfill the necessary paperwork, you could become illegal. Yes, I don't like this word of becoming illegal. It's like illegal immigrants.
So right now, why do you think there's so much, let's say, talk and noise about immigration in Poland?
I'm surprised that so many people want to come to Poland. You know,
Okay.
that's what's at some point was super surprising for me, because suddenly everyone wants to come here. Why? Why? And it turns out that it's safe, nice. People are nice, although there was this some point people were saying, no, Poles are not nice, Poles are not welcoming. But it turns out the other way. The people I met, they say that even the Polish healthcare system is good. You can find a job here. The food is not so bad, and even they appreciate the four seasons.
True, I do.
So suddenly everyone wants to come to Poland. Poland is so surprised with that as I was at some point. We are not prepared for that. The Polish immigration system or the regulation were not prepared for that. They were made when really no one wanted to stay in Poland. So much was not interested in Poland, and now everyone wants to come here, and the system is inefficient.
Do you think
to a certain degree?
There's a lot of requests and chaos?
We had this Ukrainian war, and big number of Ukrainian people came here. Poland was not prepared for that. And just because Poland is thriving, the people are thinking that this is a good destination for their life. So yes, the immigration offices are just overwhelmed with numbers of applications.
What year do you think this chaos started to happen exactly?
It was just gradually. It was more and more application, and we can observe that the time to receive your temporary residency or permanent residency, it's increasing.
What is the immigration law in Poland, for example? And what makes it different in other European countries?
So the EU countries in general, they have similar. They have some general rules that are common for every country. I would say that maybe it's the right moment to say that people are always confusing the visas and temporary residence permit or residence permit. They should know that this is something different. That for visa you ask if you are not in Poland, and for temporary residence you ask when you are within the country. People are confusing that. That's one of the problem of Polish migration policy or migration system, is that foreigners are not fully aware of the rules in terms of staying here and of terms of working here. That should be the priority. If you want someone to follow the rules, you should make them know the rules. When I'm speaking with my client, this is very often the case. They are lost, they are confused, they don't know. They would like to follow the rules,
right,
but they're not exactly certain how. We spend not enough money. The Poland spend not enough money on immigration, but not on immigrants, on the immigration system. More people, more money to immigration system, immigration offices. I think everything would work better. It will be beneficial for everyone.
Right now, Poland is having this influx of illegal, let's say, migrants, and yet you get the feeling that almost, or mainly people would say, we don't want this immigrant, we don't want this migrant, legal or illegal, we're good. What do you have to say about that?
This is, yes, that's a good question. It's funny when you put everything in one basket, like immigrants, illegal immigrants, economical immigrants, people who has Polish roots. It's all immigrants. This is just generalization. Just 2 weeks ago, I was sitting with a group of friends, and one of them said, "Oh, I don't like those immigrants. I hate those immigrants." Maybe no, he didn't say hate. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
I said, "But how come you don't like them? We are sitting here, and he's our friend. We have our Arab friend at our table. He is just enjoying. Your girlfriend is from France, and so we are in an Indian restaurant. So, and you say you don't like immigrants? Oh no, this is something different. This I'm not talking about this. Yes, but you are talking about that. So I would make a big difference between migration and people who are just breaking the law intentionally. So if you are crossing the border without documents, with false documents, that's something different from if you are just struggling to prolong your stay here after you stay for 10 years and you forgot to submit papers on time, and you missed the deadline with 1 day, and you shouldn't be in the same category as a illegal immigrant. Yes, so it's just name. So this topic is very biased, yes? And in general, I don't believe in simple answers. If this is a simple answer, it's probably not.
It's not the answer.
It's not the answer. It's not true. Yes. So either we are pro-immigrants or against immigrants. This is very childish, I would say.
It is. I agree with you there. It's what is saddening is that, like you said, everyone puts everyone in the same basket, and especially when they talk about illegal migrants, and they just put you politicians, and because they know it stirs up emotions, it makes people comment online and hate. And I find it very saddening. Like, for example, I would speak of myself as an example. I am here. I'm not here to change the culture. I'm not here to change the values of Polish people. I'm not here to change the religion, anything. I just want to do my job, support my family, and have a normal life, respectable, honorable life. And yet when I see the politicians putting me in the same box as this illegal, as the criminals, I can't help but it's hurtful. It's very hurtful. And it makes me think, I am paying my taxes to this country where I feel not really welcome anymore. What do you have to say about that?
It's like, I'm not a politician.
Thank God.
Most people who speaks about migrations, they don't know what they are talking about.
Right.
They talking about some abstract male who is violent and who is coming here to break the rules. This is absurd, because that's not the problem. This is the problem is the people who are trying to, for some reason, better up the situation, the economical situation, the family situation, or people who just, as you, spend the big amount of their life here in Poland, and they are trying to just live here. It's a difficult topic. We don't if we, I don't know what is the Polish general policy. I read the last statement about the Polish foreign strategy for the future years, and if I would sum it up, I would say we want nice people in and bad people out. You know,
life doesn't work like that.
But life doesn't work like that. It's at the end is this. office, a person in the immigration office who decide whether you can stay here or not. If he will have enough time and money to recognize your case thoroughly, I think the outcome will be much better for Polish society, for the immigrants, for everyone. If you can implement great regulations, but it's all about the efficiency and the reality where we are facing. So in some cities you wait for 8 months for the decision. Thus, there are cases where people wait 2 years for the decision. So in this situation, the system is being exploited because some people might stay here just waiting for the decision for 2 years. On the other hand, some people might just, and they can be the highly trained professional. They will say, no, I will not risk waiting 1 year or longer here because my status is not clear. I want to have a clear situation. I can go to France, I can go to Spain, I can go to United States with my qualification. I will choose the other countries because maybe they were not the best example because the immigration doesn't work there also so great. But I would choose another country where the system is clear, where then my decision will be faster. So I think we all want here people who can add something, who will add more than they will get. We are welcoming them if they respect the rules,
right,
and they add the value. They should be admitted in general. But when I listen to the politicians, it's like we will invite this group from this country, and we will exclude this group from the other country. Or this is, of course, again, childish.
Yeah, it is. But it works, in the political, let's say, spectrum and style, because it divides people, and when you divide people, you rule them.
Yes.
You mentioned that there's a lot of misinformation or lack of information, to be precise, regarding the rules of immigration in Poland. So what do you think foreigners should know and understand to deal with the immigration office?
The most important rule is that you should apply for your stay or submit the application for your stay when your stay is still valid, legal. Because if you will enter this illegal stay, then it's almost impossible to legalize your stay again. And the fact when is the time and how to submit your application to the immigration authorities correctly, because sometimes people think, oh, I've sent an email, I've sent some messages, I booked the appointment, and they think they are okay, they are safe, but they are not.
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that.
So what is it I must do? Give me like the step by step, and let's go and take a simple case. I guess there's a lot of people now. Who is your main, say, client, ideal client?
Ideal, ideal or main?
Well, both.
So we have clients from really all around the world. So we have U.S. citizens.
Okay.
We have a lot of British citizens
now
after
the EU,
because of Brexit. We have Ukrainians from Asia. Basically,
all over the world.
All over the world.
So, what is the standard information that we must know? Because, say, I get a job in Poland, I come here, and then I want to extend my stay or make it official instead of running on a visa.
So, it's important to know that in most cases, your work permit is for a specific job and a specific position. If you change the job, if you quit the job, if you lost the job, you should either apply for a new permit or inform the authorities. That's one thing. And that you shouldn't work without work permit if you don't have a general access to the Polish labor market. Work permit is something different from residence permit. Sometimes it can be combined, but you can have one without having the other one. If you have the residence permit, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can work here, and vice versa. You can have the work permit, but maybe you don't have the residence permit, so you cannot stay here. Normally works, you get the visa, then you can apply for temporary residency. A lot of countries, they are on the list where they do not need a visa. They can stay 90 days in 180 days in Schengen. Let's say after 5 years you can apply for EU long-term residency, which is kind of permanent residency, and then after 3 years of staying in Poland on the basis of permanent residency, you can apply for Polish citizenship. So you can be recognized as a Polish citizen. Of course, it's just a general idea. You have to you have to pass the exam or prove your knowledge of the Polish language, have regular and stable income, but this is the way.
Yeah.
So, visa, temporary residency, permanent residency, and then the ultimate goal, the citizenship.
So what does truly the immigration office care about when somebody applies? What they are really looking at?
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sorry for them, because they have so many applications that they are just trying to
get rid of
that or move the case forward. In this situation, there were of course there are people who are trying to exploit the system. Then the people who are not are suffering because it's hard to say what they look in general. In general, they look at they just check tick the boxes, yes. And
who's the top figure? For example, you have the immigration officers, the ones that get the papers and see what's going on. Who's the boss? Who's deciding ultimately?
I don't know if I get your question right. I mean,
it's a kind of deep question, to be honest. You have to see behind the question.
Who's the boss? Eventually, eventually is the supervisor of the officer. I have a feeling that it's easier now to give the negative decision than the positive, because
this gets rid of the
because
case.
If you not really because if you give the negative decision, I think you don't have to explain why you give the negative decision. They just did not follow the criteria. If you give the positive decision, you have to say why you give the positive decision. Did they really fulfill all the criteria given? And it's easier to be very strict and to treat every case very formally, because then you are safe. But again, I think it's just because if you have 100, if you have to do something, let's say you have to do 200 little tasks in all the cases, then you're trying to be as formal as possible. That's but I'm not working in the immigration office. I'm just having it from the other side.
Outside, yeah.
But that's my That's how I feel about that. But maybe it's different.
So there's obviously, like, we can say, let's address the elephant in the room. And since the war broke up in Ukraine, unfortunately, there's a lot of Ukrainians who flee the war, and it overwhelmed the system, which was already overwhelmed. And you mentioned that in the very beginning. You said the immigration office, they don't have the means nor the time or the staff to deal with all these applications. What do you think must be done here?
I think the solution is really simple. There should be more people and more funding, and Poland is spending a substantial amount on their security, on the army. I think immigration is also very important, and we should spend more on that. And then if you can analyze, if the person has more time to analyze the immigration papers of certain people, the outcome will be better.
From your experience, obviously, is like a discrimination when it comes to applying between, for example, let's say Ukrainians, Indians, Muslims.
That's a tricky question. I think there is a big discrimination in terms of visas. We are noticing that from some countries it's almost impossible to get the visa, or it's even impossible to get an appointment. While from some countries it's fairly easy, or it is just a formality. On the other hand, in terms of immigration here in Poland and temporary residence permit, I think the people are treated equally, although of course there are some regulations saying that those countries do not need, for example, work permit. They have easier, the access to the labor market is very easy. Is it discrimination? I don't know what
is discrimination?
What is discrimination? Yes, so they have. I don't know what you think, but dealing with immigration office in and temporary residency, the process that it's being held here in Poland, I don't think there is a discrimination.
Have you ever had a case which was very complicated, and you had some doubt there's something more than the criteria is here?
Yes, we had. We are dealing with lots of difficult cases because if it is a simple case, you don't need you don't need an attorney. Yes, exactly. It's basically when it's somehow complicated, you ask for help. So we have lots of difficult cases. Yes, I had those feelings, but it was not connected with the nationality. It's more who they were, what they were doing, or something like that. Yeah.
It's interesting because when it comes to immigration, you hear a lot of stories, and everyone has a sort of emotional connection to the topic, and people talk a lot, they share a lot online. And so when I, for example, for this episode, when I wanted to do some research, so I went to these forums here in Poland, and you see everyone is sharing horror stories and like, hey, they did this because I'm from this country, and whatever story is, there is always two sides to the story, and I can't help but notice, and it's pure chaos in these forums, and have some people saying, I've been waiting 3 years for my card, I have everything right, and it makes you wonder, what's the truth here? I
don't trust forums on internet. I think it's information is some kind of biased or twisted. But yes, it's there are some cities, because this is something interesting. There are many immigration offices for particular voivodeships, and the rules in every voivodeship are a little bit different, or I would say there are some customs, but it's normal. It's also in the court there are some minor differences, although the rule should be the same for everywhere. And there are some cities where you wait extremely extremely long for the most simple cases, that you wait 2 years. 3 years is possible, but everyone waits 2 years there. So I don't think it's bias. It's just the inefficient of this particular city, and yes, and some cities are faster. So I don't think there is the immigration authorities or people who work there are discriminating anyone. They are just people. They are just trying to handle the cases. Is from the person perspective. Oh, I'm from Nigeria. They are treating me bad because I'm from Nigeria. I don't think this is the case. The problem is that there are too many applications. For example, in most of the cases there is no interview. It's all paperwork. It's all bureaucracy. How can you? Sometimes it's difficult to judge the situation, judge the person without seeing them, without knowing them. And this is the case.
So you think the inefficiency of the immigration system here, due to the overwhelming cases, and is it hurting the Polish economy or Poland as a whole?
Yes, in some way, yes, because if suddenly Poland became not only a state of migrants, but also a state of immigrants. Yes, people are coming here, and we are starting to doing some brain drain. So we would like to have highly qualified, well-educated employees, and probably we are losing some. We are not receiving the ones, or we are not receiving the ones we should have, and maybe we are receiving some that we should not. Of course, this is again the question: what should be the immigration rules in general? It's a deep question. Whether who do we want, who we don't want. There are some easy answers, but I think they are not true. It's when you go deep into it, it's a person. It's a human.
And to answer the people, for example, who say, Poland, we don't want immigrants, we don't, legal or illegal. What is the truth there, like economically speaking?
So, if you look at the unemployment rate in Poland, it's really low. And if you look at the birth rate, it's also very low. I read this strategy for my future strategy, Polish strategy for the next years, and written that we are not going to solve this problem with migration. but I didn't find the answer. How we gonna solve it? But again, there are no easy answers which are trying to be implemented now. Shall we say we don't know? We don't want Muslim people, or we don't know Asian people, or maybe we just want Slavic people, or maybe. But Slavic Catholic, not or these are crazy childish answers, because in every society, in every group, you'll find the great individuals and bad individuals.
Right.
So at the end, we should try to make the system works efficiently and let people who can add to Polish society, to Polish state, add the value in, and those who we think are not going to respect the values, respect the law, or will be just a burden, probably they should not be allowed to enter, because that's the word. Maybe it's not ideal, but that's the
feeling I get from mainly most of Polish people who are against migrants or immigrants is they do not want to see Poland become, and quote unquote, I would say here, I have to be careful with my words, as France or Germany. They see the chaos in Germany, for example. Obviously that chaos is enhanced by political reasons, and it's very easy to steer people's emotions, online nowadays. You show them only the worst sign of migrants or immigrants, and they're like, oh my God, Germany is dying because of this. And I think, which is fair for, if you have a house or home, you want to protect your home, you want to protect, you have guests, they need to respect the rules, otherwise they are not welcome in, or they have to leave. So do you think that fear in most of Polish people is what is creating the stigma against immigrants?
So I understand those fears, and yes, this is more complex problem. If you suddenly have a group of people that is not well integrated, that cause a problem. I don't think that Asians people are causing problems, or Muslim people are causing a problem as individuals. I'm just that there was a big migration. The people who were not integrated in the society, they do not have jobs opportunities, often not well educated because they could not get this proper education. They don't know what to do with their lives. What Poland needs, it's a smart immigration policy, not only about who you let in or who you don't, but how you treat those people later, and how well you can integrate those people into the society. Those examples you mentioned about France or Germany, those pictures with on X, it's basically people breaking the law.
Right.
Yes, that's the problem, or not respecting the rules, or not behaving properly.
You mentioned this in the very beginning, said Poland is becoming a very attractive country, so where people want to migrate to and build a life to. My question for you would be how to legally come to Poland.
Have a strong idea for what you are planning to do. Let's say if you want to open the startup in Poland, do it. It's possible. We will help you with that. And probably Poland will be a good place for your startup. If you want to come to Poland and you don't know why, and you think, oh, maybe I will open a startup and that will be the reason they will let me in, I would say this is not a great idea.
Let's imagine a citizen from different part of world, and they want to come legally to Poland. They did their research, they fell in love with the country and the culture, the history, everything we love about Poland. What are the first steps?
Be careful not to be exploited, but some middlemen who are promising you something. This is something which happens quite often in terms of immigration. The higher your education is, the better your position in your country, the higher chances you have, especially now when they are planning to implement strict rules. If someone is promising you a temporary residency card and you've never been to Poland, or they will tell you that you will pay some amount of money and they will grant you a visa, certainly, then be careful, because
it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
So how would you prepare me psychologically? What should I expect from the whole system?
I would say be patient, be patient, and maybe a bit patient, humble, and gather all the paperwork, collect the documents. This is quite bureaucratic procedure, so we'll have stamps, we'll have wet signatures, originals, and be prepared for that, and be prepared that it's time consuming. Maybe not time consuming, but it takes time.
Well, thank you so much, because I wanted to have an immigration lawyer on the show, because I got a lot of questions. A lot of people are watching our show and they're asking me questions and like, hey, how to be in Poland, how to come to Poland, and that's why I wanted to be with the best immigration lawyer in Poland. So thank you for accepting my invitation, and I will forward you my case.
We'll do
Thank
our
you so
best.
much, Maciej. Thank you very much. Well, there you have it, guys. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. If you would like to learn more or discover more, you can click right here on this video to enjoy more authentic and honest stories. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you soon.